although Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim avoided direct criticism of the pact this time, but still he made some comments about the importance of maintaining friendly relations with China. And he said Malaysia remained an important friend with the U.S. and Europe and Australia, but that should not preclude it from being friendly to China, which is Malaysia's important neighbor. So the poll was conducted amidst these diplomatic and security concerns, and it provides insights into Australian public opinion regarding the country's role in the region and its approach to international affairs.
Right. Now, in more details, tell us what are the key findings of the poll?
Yes, the poll was conducted among 1,126 voters, and it suggests almost twice as many Australians believe the government should position the country as a middle power in Asia than those who say it should be an ally of the U.S. And they share former Australian Prime Minister Paul Keating's view, who said back in 1995 that Australia must fund security in and not from Asia. And he also once criticized the AUKUS deal, calling it the worst international decision. And he said Australia should seek security in Asia with its sovereignty, not quote-unquote rubbish defense deals like AUKUS. And he said Canberra is forsaking proper defense strategy to help the United States maintain its strategic hegemony in Asia. And also, after Taiwan raised concerns about the so-called destabilizing and dangerous action in the South China Sea, Keating said that the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim had dropped a huge rock into Wong's pond by telling Australia not to piggyback Australia's problem with China onto ASEAN. And the poll suggests 38% of respondents share Paul Keating's view of regarding Australia's regarding Australia's role in global affairs, while only 20% said Australia should be primarily an ally of the U.S., and 25% said it should do its best not to engage in world affairs, and also 17% say they were unsure.
Well, it seems that the poll indicates a rather complex view of China among Australians. How do the findings categorize Australians' perceptions in China, and what do you think has shaped their perception on this?
Yes, according to the poll, 67% of Australians believe the relationship with China is complex and must be managed, but only 20% view China primarily as a threat to be confronted, which indicates a rejection to a purely adversarial approach. And 13% described it as a positive opportunity to be realized. And I think although public opinion sometimes can influence government, but the government policy can also shape public opinion. So if the Australian government aligns closely with the U.S. And takes a strong stance against China, it can heighten public anxieties about China. And of course, media coverage also plays a role. But if the government prioritizes economic ties, public opinion might become more focused on the benefits of trade. And as I said earlier, public opinion can also be a significant influence on government policy. So I think the poll findings suggesting a preference for an independent role in foreign relations might also influence the government's foreign policy. So it works both ways.
Indeed. Well, regarding, the Gaza conflict that is happening now, how do Australians view their country's role in this?